Welcome to the Bandwich Tapes. I'm Brad Williams. On this episode, I'm joined by singer-songwriter Ryan Dart. Ryan has taken a unique path through the music world, working as an engineer, producer, and a tour manager on major tours before ultimately stepping fully into his own voice as an artist. And in this conversation, we talk about what it looks like to build a creative life from the ground up. We get into his songwriting process, his early influences, and how personal experiences like divorce, sobriety, and self-reflection have shaped the music he's making today. This is a conversation about letting go of fear, being honest in your art, and trusting that what you create can serve someone else. Here's my conversation with Ryan Dart.
Justice ain't been hanging out this time for a while. To keep your heart from drowning, better off being blind. No matter what, you're still in my blood. Ain't playing my bad days in a time that never was. Grace outruns the best of us. It's hard to find. Seeing the best in you has kept my faith alive. Change don't come around fast as you pray. Love is a four-letter word you never meant to say. No matter where I find myself, part of me is on the run. And every love song was a sad song to someone. I ain't going nowhere faster, climbing the dead hill. If love don't break you, nothing else will. If love don't break you.
Ryan, welcome to the podcast. How are things today?
Hey, Brad. Thanks for having me. Things are great. I got my coffee and just been working on writing new songs. It's like a sickness. I can't ever stop. Keep writing.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. It's probably some good therapy. It's probably a good, form of journaling. There's so many wonderful things that it probably does for you.
Absolutely. It's definitely therapy. It's something that really helps me process this crazy world, this life, the ups and the downs, and just it's become just weaved into the fabric of my day. So
yeah. Do you like to write on a schedule? Do you build time into your day to work on it, or do you like to just do it when the inspiration hits you?
I'm always writing. At least once a day I'm writing something. It's whether that's, out on a hike, making a note in my phone notes, or it's sitting at a restaurant and overhearing a conversation that sparks a lyric, or just out in the world. But definitely sitting here at the end of a day or first thing in the morning, if I have the space, I sit and write pages sometimes. So, having a single dad with a kid and all the different things that are, everybody's got a lot on their plate. So I guess I don't have a set schedule. It's part of every day for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And I would imagine life is such a wonderful catalyst for inspiring you to write, as you're talking about your situation, your arrangement. Yeah, I would imagine that life just has a way to probably inspire some of those things.
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, everybody on the planet has challenges, and, as a artist and all of us that are in these creative headspaces, we got to find the silver lining, whether it's, using our art as a way of therapy, or, I'm really I feel blessed because as I do more and more of this and I have my own growth and healing process, I really want to move more and more towards being a service to other people and finding, as I release more music, getting that feedback and how much it's been helpful for people that are going through hard times with relationships or health or family or financial struggles. You know, everybody's got it. And I think as I've gotten older, I really, my heart wants to be of service to people and give them a voice, you know?
Yeah. I was just talking with someone about that, you know, in that in 2026, there aren't many places, many things that people can do anymore where people can seem to find middle ground. There aren't many of those things left, but thankfully music is one of those that's left. And it doesn't matter what your beliefs are, where you're from, what you look like, anything like that. Music is one of those things where we can all come together and heal together.
That's right. Yeah, humanity needs those safe spaces of connection, and we're so disconnected in so many different ways now. So that's, you know, finding ways to connect through music is wonderful. And then even a step further is being able to connect through music in a live setting with, you know, face to face, and being around people in a collective that are in that headspace it's just such a limited number of those things, like you say, that are available to us. So yeah, hopefully everybody's got enough of an opportunity, even if you can't afford to go to the Taylor Swift $500 a seat concert, go see somebody in your neighborhood and find a way to have some of that human connection. It's really good for us.
It really is. I completely agree. There is just there's so much power in a room full of people. It's like it almost feels like everyone's heartbeats start to sync with each other in that moment. And you can't put into words the feeling that creates.
Yeah. It's something special, and it used to be more a part of everyday life. And as we've gotten more conveniences and more digital methods of, you know, maybe helping our workload in some ways, it's definitely taken some of those opportunities to connect away. So
yeah, hopefully
we swing back to that being a priority.
Yeah, that's my hope as well. So tell me, I'd love to hear about how all of this started for you, you know, how the music thing came into your life and what, you know, kind of sparked that interest for you, and when did it happen?
Well, wow, how far back do you want me to go?
We can go back as far as you want to go, man.
I love this, like coffee talk.
That's right. That's right. I'll give you a topic.
Yeah. I guess, you know, I was born in Colorado. I grew up in Arkansas, out in the middle of nowhere, rural Arkansas, pretty far below the poverty line. But we had a wonderful piece of land that I could explore as a kid, and gave me the space to really develop that imagination. My mom was a piano player and had great musical taste. Lots of Bob Dylan early on in my life, definitely influenced the writing side. And we had this old classical guitar. It was pretty bad, out of tune, and I'm sure close to unplayable, but it was enough of a spark to get me interested and see how powerful, like, making sound with that sixth string could be. And when I was about 12 and hitting puberty, I started writing songs to go with the music, and I've never stopped doing that. But you know, I've been through such a journey in this music business, from you know, an engineer in the studio and a producer, and then I started going out on the road with a rock band called Rose Hill Drive, and we toured around the world. And I was tour managing and doing live sound for them. And on arena tours with the Who and Aerosmith and Van Halen and the Black Crowes. And so went through that. I've guitar teched for bands like Dinosaur Jr. I started tour managing Ryan Bingham, and that was really inspiring because it is much more in alignment with the kind of music that I make. You know, I loved getting to meet all my rock and roll heroes and you know, getting to hang out with Robert Plant and Pete Townsend and all these folks, but to be in that circle that Ryan Bingham and his tour created and getting to experience some of that from more of the country and Americana space was super inspiring. And I've definitely grown a lot from that. And just decided to go all in on my own music at this point.
Oh, so cool. You know, you were talking about where you grew up, and, you know, I think that geography is so important that shapes us as who we are as musicians, the music we listen to, you know, the people we're around. But I think that area that you grew up in probably had so much to do with who you are now as a musician. And when you probably didn't even realize it that early on, but it was shaping you to be who you are now.
Yeah, I mean, that area is so economically depressed, but there's definitely a soul in that the southern part of this country where people are struggling on a different level and in different ways. But yeah, the rural nature of it, you know, getting to hear some of those old, you know, stations out of Little Rock and Memphis playing, you know, Fats Domino is one of my favorites.
Mine too, man.
That stuff. I could listen to it all day long. My grandma was always playing Marty Robbins vinyl, and yeah, like I said, just growing up on Bob Dylan and you know, Townes Van Zandt and Johnny Cash, so much Johnny Cash. It just it becomes part of your DNA, I guess.
Yeah.
So very, very lucky to have that mix of Southern musical influences when I was really young and impressionable.
Yeah. You know, and then you went on and you've done all of these. It's like, I was just, as you were explaining it, I was just sitting here thinking, the fact that he has seen the music business basically from every direction and still wants to do it should be a testament to how much you have a drive for it. Because a lot of people would, you know, you kind of see the inside of how some of that works and are like, I think I'm just going to go do something else. But you've used it as the flame that's kind of kept you going, which is really cool.
Yeah, this business will break down the strongest of people, and I've seen it really, you know, it's a humbling space, and I guess I feel pretty lucky that I just know that my purpose in this world is that feels like my gift is songwriting and being able to try and give people a voice. It's through how I process things. And, you know, I think it takes a lot of gratitude, practice to withstand the highs and the lows. I mean, being with some of these bands as they are growing over the years and they go from playing the club to, you know, 10, 20 people and being inspired and so set on their success, no matter what, we're going to do this. And then they get the big break and they're playing for 10, 15,000 people one night or one tour. And then you come back down to reality when you have to go back and headline your own tour and you know, maybe your numbers go up and you're playing for 50 people. That's still an emotional roller coaster to go from playing for 15,000 people to playing for 50. And those of us who can withstand that, it really is only because you know that this is what you're going to do no matter what, even if it's one person in the crowd. Like, I'm just going to be playing music. I'm going to be writing songs until I'm in the ground. So I might as well just do it no matter what's happening, what the circumstances are. So many people have it harder than me. I'm so grateful for this life And I feel like it's just something I have to do no matter what.
Well, and musicians are, I think we're all emotional people, right? To go and put your heart out there, either writing a song or performing a song. We're emotional. And then you have like that, everyone fights with insecurity. I think musicians fight with it maybe a little, I feel like they fight with it a little bit more than maybe other people do. At least I can say for myself, and, yeah, you're right. I mean, this isn't for the faint of heart. What you're doing is like, it is not for the faint of heart. So it has to be a calling to commit to it and keep going.
Yeah, that's right. I think every creative person has such a strong negativity bias against themselves. It's just built in. So
I agree.
If you're not aware of that, I think it's even harder to navigate because it feels so like acutely real when you start to have that doubt or self-criticism come in. So, it's definitely something I was able to learn through observation and other people's experiences. And maybe that has helped me have a little more emotional resilience because I'm expecting if things seem like they're going great and I'm on a high, I know I'm going to come back down to life, to reality. Yeah. And if things are really low and I feel like I just can barely hang on, I know they're going to come back up. It's always going to equal out. So it's wisdom I wish I would have had in my 20s.
Oh gosh, golly, man. I'm right there with you. Sometimes I wish I could go back and do all of those years again as a musician, but at the same time now I'm like, it's probably best that I can't, because I'd probably go and screw it up in some other way.
You long walk in the forest, thunderstorm rolling across the plains, color in the sky to the west, smell of the air after it rains. Beginning's the only way to finish. Runner sprinting to the line, sunrise escaping from the darkness, favorite song on a long-ass ride, like a bird was born inside a cage, who thinks flying is insane, only read about this kind of love before, now we're dancing on your porch.
So as we're recording this, I think you just had a new single released, or it's releasing, called "Dancing on Your Porch."
Yeah, so that one comes out April 10th. I just had the second single off the new album, Wranglers and Rock and Roll, that came out on the 20th of March.
And it's great, by the way. I've been listening to it. Love it. Love the songwriting. Love the production on it. You sound fantastic on it. Everything's great, man. Really love it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. That self-criticism always comes in, but once it's out there, I've learned to just, whatever happens now is none of my business. I've done everything I can do, and I'm just happy to share it. I think whatever we're inspired to write, I feel this in my bones. Somebody out there needs it. It's not about me having some success with the song because of my ego. There's a reason that each of us are inspired to create. And I love reframing it as it's for someone else that really needs that. So that's something I've really been working on over the last couple of years.
Oh, it's really, no, I think it's fantastic. And I hope that all musicians and songwriters can try to adopt that mission statement, because it's really, I mean, that's what it should be, it's trying to make the world a better place through our individual output. It's really cool. These songs that you are releasing, are they songs that you have written recently? Are there some that you've had for a while, or what's been kind of the process of going from the writing stage to then recording them?
Yeah, so these are all new songs. I came out of COVID with a marriage falling apart, a divorce. I wrote an entire set of songs through that grieving process and the family breaking apart. And then by the time I got in the studio, I had written an entire new set of songs. I had, it had been 3 years essentially since the breakup happened. So I had taken some time, a lot of therapy, a lot of self-reflection, and trying to grow through that process. So by the time I got in the studio, I had met a new woman and fallen in love and just been really inspired in a new way that, kind of integrated the growth personally, reflecting back on that heartbreak through a new lens, I think. And so a lot of the songs that would have been on this album, if I would have rushed into the studio in the midst of that heartbreak, it would have been a much more sad, probably leaning a lot more Townes Van Zandt type of album than it ended up being. So these are all brand new songs, essentially.
That's great. Well, and that's exciting to hear the direction your life was going that prompted you to almost start over with writing these tunes and kind of, doing something new with them and having a, I guess we'll call it a muse to kind of spark some of the writing on some of that stuff.
Yeah, that was new for me. In the past, of course, I've tried to write. I guess there's the word. I've tried to write love songs for women, or I've tried to write songs that integrate some of that, but it's always been a little bit more covered in metaphor or hidden in different ways. And I think at this point, after being just essentially tearing my whole life down to the ground and rebuilding it from scratch, I think I did that in my songwriting to the point where I'm just trying to be completely authentic and open in a way that I guess didn't have the courage to when I was younger. So yeah. It's been a new process for me.
Yeah. I'm not a songwriter. I'm a singer. I love singing other people's songs. And years ago, went through a divorce. And I think, and I'd love to hear your perspective on this as a singer, I think that experience made me sing songs differently. I think I became a different singer going through that experience. I sing them from a deeper perspective than I did before. I think I pay attention to the words more. Have you experienced some of that? Have you noticed that as a singer?
Absolutely. There's a richness of experience that comes partly from age and definitely from, heartbreak and just struggle in general kind of breaks us open. And I heard somebody recently saying something like, I look forward to heartbreak because I know it's going to open me up. And I don't know that I can say I look forward to heartbreak, but I definitely use it as a catalyst to try and dig deeper, because we all have so much built-in shame and guilt and things that we need to work through as we go through this life. And I think as you get further along and you go through some of these things, the songs take on new meanings. The way your voice interprets that, the things that come out. Like, I'm not a classically trained, I just sing. I don't really know what I'm doing. I can't hit it's not like I have been through a lot of training to do this. It's just coming from the heart. I use my limitations with my voice as a way of finding something unique, hopefully. But yeah, to speak to your point, it changes how you sing. It changes how you view the lyrics. And I've even noticed that songs that I wrote years ago, it's like, I finally know what that song's about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who would have thought?
It's amazing. Yeah. And I would recommend to anyone to do some therapy at some point in your life. I think it's just, as you were talking about it earlier, best decision I ever made. It's like I will never be the person I need to be as a father or as a partner or whatever until I get my own stuff kind of put back in order the way it needs to be. So I think it's super important, and I think it's pretty awesome that you've done those things as well.
It's key. I mean, don't you want to see your blind spots? I mean, I don't know.
There are people that don't, man. I don't get it, but I agree with you.
Well, I know we're afraid of what's behind the curtain, but as soon as you rip that thing open, okay, well, that wasn't that scary.
Yeah.
There's so much that, like, we all have this infinite potential that we're given when we are born. And if you're looking through the same lens year after year after year, and you're not willing to look at those blind spots and at least open to the idea of change and growth, I just think you're missing out on some amazing opportunities for reaching your potential. And I'm with you. It's really important to have somebody, whether it's a therapist or a friend or somebody who just doesn't pull any punches, to be like, do you see your blind spot right here?
That's it. I tell everyone, because I'm remarried. I'm married to the love of my life, and we've been married for 15 years, and I couldn't be any happier. And I tell everyone that, number one, I can love her more because she's taught me how to love myself, and number two, she calls me on my shit, and she protects me from myself. So
beautiful.
That's it. So, I think if you're going to be with someone, you have to be with someone that brings out the best in you,
Yeah. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It's sometimes the people you love the most are the ones that trigger you and trigger the old pattern, and that fear comes back up, and it's a choice that we have to make, how we're going to react to that. Are we going to open up to that growth, or go back to that comfort zone that's safe? But just, man, there's so much meat left on the bone if you're not willing to look at those things. So.
Gosh, man, I couldn't agree with you more. So where did you? I love the way these songs sound. Just sonically, they sound very well recorded. The instruments sound great. Your vocals sounds. You were totally selling yourself short, by the way, as a singer. I think you're a fantastic singer. Where did you record the project?
Yeah, so I recorded this at Cinder Sound in Longmont, just north of Boulder. My friend John McVeigh produced it, engineered it, and mixed it. And he's somebody I've known for a long time. I really enjoy how he produces vocals in particular, but it goes back to what we were just saying, having that person that will be brutally honest with you. That's something that he brings to the table. There's no, I've worked with other producers, and you get in the studio and you do a few takes, and they're like, oh, that was good, let's try another. That was good, let's try another. John is like, that wasn't it. Like, that one didn't make me feel anything. Like, come on. He's got a really good way of pulling that soul out of you. And so yeah, I really love what he did and how he captured these sounds, and just really blessed to have a lot of talented friends that joined me on this album. And it's, yeah, very grateful.
Ain't no word left outside these covers. No time left for selfish lovers. Had to rip it down to the studs. Heading wherever your river runs. Won't see in a lifetime every morning. Dirt road woman on a mission. Where your skin shines, was kissed by the morning light. I wanna hold it like it's the last day on earth. Lose myself, cares just melt away. Hours that seem to last for days. Winding down the mountain with a smile. Believing all the best things in life. Won't see in a lifetime every morning. Dirt road woman on a mission. Where your skin shines, is kissed by the morning light. I wanna hold it like it's the last day on earth. I wanna hold it like it's the last day on earth.
Yeah, it sounds really good. I think it just captures the spirit and the energy of the lyric. You know, it sometimes you'll hear a song and it instrumentally is kind of misaligned with the content of the lyrics, but not at all with this. I mean, it just they're perfectly in step with each other. I love what you guys did with it.
Well, thanks. I'm really glad to hear that. This was one, a couple of the albums I've done in the past. I went in and it's like, whatever we get in 8 days in the studio, that's what we're going with. And that's a wonderful way to really grow, by just throwing yourself into the fire. But with this one, I wanted to be more intentional. I wanted to take the time, let some of the songs develop and grow. And, some of the ones that we recorded that didn't make the album, I'm glad we took the time to really come into it with more intention. So
yeah,
it was a little bit different process than I had done the 2 or 3 records before that.
Yeah. Do you think that, because we were talking before we started recording about getting older, and what was the amazing thing you said right before we started recording? I don't recommend getting old. Is that what you said? Yeah, amazing. Do you still feel some of the? Do you feel like you're the same musician that you were 20 years ago? Do you feel like a dramatically different, or is it a little bit of a blend of the two? I ask myself this question a lot, and I like to ask musicians this, like, do you still feel like you have that youthful spirit behind what you're doing, or do you think maybe you're kind of in a new place musically?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I think for me, I guess I still feel young. I feel like I'm looking out of 21-year-old eyes. I'm still seeing the world through that lens. What's changed for me, and I'd still have the love and the passion for creating music. What's changed for me is all of the fear of how it's being perceived, the insecurities, the like trying to cater to other people. I'm a recovering people pleaser. And
I'm right there with you, Ryan.
And I think that is such a beautiful stage, and a beautiful part of getting older is just dropping all of that baggage and letting all that go. And I think it's really opening up the well that I'm able to pull from, because I'm not guarded like I used to be. I'm not trying to cater to any listener. I'm not trying to write a particular song. I'm just writing all the time for myself, the things I'm feeling deeply, the things that I want to hear more of, the things that, the experiences that I'm able to reflect on with a clear head, because I'm no longer, high or drinking. Like I'm sobered up. So I've got a different, more clear head and this lens that I'm seeing the world through, and able to reflect back on all the rock and roll days with a little bit more of a clear lens. All of that has led up to me letting my guard down in a lot of ways. And I think that is the biggest way that I've changed. And it's just been really fun to explore the world through that lens that I didn't have access to when I was younger.
Yeah. I feel like I could have you could have said everything that you just did and about me, and I would have agreed with 100% of it. No, I'm right there with you. I'm 18 months sober. Best decision I've ever made in my life. I wish I would have done it years and years ago. And I just think, and like you said, people pleaser. I stayed in so many situations in my life that I probably wanted to get out of, but I just didn't want to be a jerk to someone. And you wind up being a jerk at some point. You should have just done it months before that, right?
That's it. Rip the Band-Aid off, have the hard conversation, tell the people what's in your heart, instead of, is really in the act of people pleasing, we end up hurting ourselves and the other person more than we ever would have by being honest.
Yep. That's it. No, that's exactly right. I'm with you. So yeah, I'm just so happy for you. I just sense you're just coming from this place of peace with all of this. And it's just really inspiring to hear that.
Well, thanks. And congrats on you for being sober. I think I went 25 years without more than a day or two with a sober brain. I mean, it's, and I don't look back on that with regret necessarily, because I think, we have to really, that's part of being at peace with our journey and how like all of this is unfolding perfectly for us, even though sometimes it doesn't seem like it. There's just so much that's working in our favor, especially as we are able to see things more clearly and we're being honest with ourselves and the people we love. So I'm glad you made that choice. And, it's not like I'm not in the program or doing anything traditional recovery steps, but it's just a place that I've gotten to internally where I feel so much better. And it's being honest with myself about that and not going back to drugs and alcohol as a way to fit in or, be there for other people and help them feel comfortable. Like I'm just not going to do it. I'm not judging anybody, but it's just how I've come to that place where like, I feel so much better now.
Yeah, that's it. I was just telling someone that the other day. It's like, I'm not going to be one of those people that stops drinking and then expects everyone else in the world to stop drinking too. That's not, you have to do whatever is best for you. For me, and I'm with you, I'm doing the same thing. I'm not in a program. It was just one of these things that I just was like, it's time to stop. And I just stopped and haven't looked back. And I think everyone just has to do what's best for them, that's going to make them the best version they can be for themselves and the people around them.
That's right. Yeah, that's beautifully said, for sure. And you can't, it's whether it's drugs or alcohol or these old belief patterns that people have, you can't change. No matter whatever you say to someone else doesn't have the impact that you think until they're ready. When they're ready, then they can hear those things. But until then, it's just noise. So
yeah,
be in there for people. And when they're ready, they'll be able to see things through a new lens. But it's an interesting journey for sure.
It certainly is, man. So what does the next, let's look out, few months, year, couple of years, kind of what do you have on the horizon? What are you hoping to do with music?
Yeah. So the album comes out May 1st. I've got the big album release party on May 2nd in Boulder. And then I've got an ever increasing live show schedule over the summer, some festivals, some solo, duo, full band shows, always looking for chances to play anywhere in the world. Last year, I was lucky enough to go over to Ireland and play some shows. I've played in Hawaii and Alaska and Arkansas and Montana and Wyoming, all over, wherever. It's always the best part of my day, getting to play music. So I want to keep expanding on that. I want to reach as many people as possible. I am really seeing a lot of growth. I am ready for my first Red Rocks performance. I'd love for that to be next, within the next 24 months. So anybody that's listening that wants to help make that a reality, I'm open to it. I've got this songwriter series that I committed to at the first of the year. I committed to recording and posting a live video of a brand new song once a week for the year. So I've got, I think this is the 13th week of the year. So I got 13 new songs posted on the YouTube channel. I think I'm probably at 50 new songs that I've written since finishing this album that hasn't come out yet. And I'm just not going to stop. I'm going for it.
That's so cool. Has doing that weekly upload, that weekly video, are you noticing that it's improving your process, kind of having a almost like an accountability check to the public that you're going to keep that thing going?
Absolutely. It keeps my feet to the flame. I think looking back, by the time we hit the end of the year and looking back, I got 50 plus new songs that are captured on video. My thought there is I'll be able to go back and look through, all right, what are the ones that I'm really connected with from this list of songs? I've got those demos. We go in the studio and just work on the next album.
Yeah, man, that's great. Well, I commend you on that. That's amazing. Well, the new album comes out May 1st, and what is it? Ryan Dart Music? What is your website?
Website is ryandartmusic.com or ryandart.com. And then, Instagram is just at ryandartmusic. And I'm not really, I don't have a big TikTok presence, but I keep up with Instagram and Facebook and the website there. So I, just always encouraging people to reach out, share their experience with me. I'm always writing. So if there's something that people are going through that's really impacting them emotionally in any way, I'm open to hearing those experiences. I'm always writing things that have that kind of that backstory. So if anybody wants to share something they're going through, I'm always here for it.
Man, that's awesome. Well, Ryan, I am your I'm a new fan of yours, and I'm so glad that we were able to hang out and spend some time and talk about what you've done and what you're continuing to do. And I just wish you all the best, man. Your music is fantastic, so just keep doing it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was nice to connect with you. You too. Keep up the great work, singing, growing, becoming the best version of yourself. It's inspiring. And I hope we can connect in person one of these days.
I hope so too. Well, best of luck.
Thanks, Brad.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please follow or subscribe to the Bandwich Tapes wherever you listen, and consider leaving a rating or review. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.